When the server's good, I be feeling like a god. Straight dribbling right through your baby moms. FIFA superhero, I should be in Comic-Con. Gameplay fast, I should be in Autobahn. I be skilling like a skillet, I be cooking, I grill 'em. Body bag, toe tag, work to Terrio, I kill 'em. Rage message in the kid, tell me how you really feeling. Broke boy, but best believe I'ma make a million.
Facts. What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy 1 Star Week and we are back for episode number 52 of the Broke Boy Road to Glory, and we got some catching up to do like every episode. So first off, you're gonna see some packs playing out on your screen. We did a couple SBCs, we did a couple objectives, and these packs aren't anything crazy. And the things we pull are likewise pretty much nothing crazy. I don't even remember what the best card I got was, but I decided, you know, I got to show you guys because it is a road to glory. And last episode when we left off, I had about 380,000 coins. I was asking you guys at home what I should do with my team because I was at a loss of really inspiration as to what to do with my team. I'm not really at the amount of coins where I can really afford an elite player unless I was to sell Neymar. There are a bunch of new cards that are out, but I'm not really moved by any of them. None of them really fit my team. So first I'm gonna show you the transfer list before I show you my team. Because I haven't shown you guys my transfer list in a while. So we've sold a Nabry. We sold him for 65,000 coins. That was a big pull from last episode. And the rest of this stuff is just stuff we had laying around the club. We had to fundraise. Because as you're about to see, we made a big signing. I mean, when I'm talking about fundraising, I was selling consumables, I was quick selling contracts. Everything must go. It was a warehouse sale. Now let's move on to the team. So as you're gonna see, there is one new player staring right into your eyes. It's gonna be this 88 rated prime Veron, or not prime, middle Icon Veron card. And initially what I wanted to do in this position was to get baby Seedorf, because they did drop a foot swaps or an icon swap Seedorf where you can submit, I believe, what was it, 6 or 10 icon swaps and get a Seedorf. So I wanted to review them real quick for you guys so you guys would know whether it's worth it or not. But being that this is an RTG and being that he's in icon swaps, I did not trust this price to stay stable enough for me to not take a big loss if I was to use them in the weekend league. So I went with the next best thing. I went with a card I've been wanting to try all year, especially with this Battaglia link that I do have. It's gonna be this 88 rated middle Icon Veron. So when you look at this card, he looks like a better version of not informed Pogba. How's he gonna play in game? We're gonna find out. Let's look at this card. He's 6'1". He has the medium work rates. He's right-footed with a 4-star weak foot, 3-star skill moves. I've played 9 games in the weekend league with him. I got 1 goal and 1 assist, and those stats are alive because in one of my games I got a disconnect. But we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. First off though, before we go any further, if you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit me with a like down below, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I appreciate all you guys at home for watching. Let's look at this card a little bit closer, because what makes Veron an ideal card in this game? Because I think he is a very meta midfielder when you look at the stats. When you look at his pace, it's pretty decent, 74 pace. We're getting at the stage of FIFA where 74 pace on the midfielder is not quite ideal anymore. But as far as everything goes right now, right now, 74 pace is not too bad. His shooting stats, if you're gonna play him at the CDM position, are pretty much elite. I mean, the 74 finishing doesn't really inspire much confidence, but we do have that 93 shot power, 91 long shots, and 84 attack positioning. He's very much like Pogba as far as his shooting goes. His passing stats are really what attracted me to this card. He has the 88 vision, he has a 90 short passing, 89 long passing, and when I was replacing Perlo on my team, I wanted to make sure that I still had a ball-playing center defensive mid. That's why I brought in this Veron card. His dribbling stats have some good and bad stats, all right? He has the 90 ball control, he has the 88 composure, the 86 reactions, which are all very high, important stats. But the one question is his 70 agility at 6'1" gonna be a card breaker? That's one thing we're gonna find out. His defending stats are good and bad, okay? He has the 83 interceptions, which at 6'1" I expect to feel very nice in game. He has the 76 defensive awareness, 75 stand tackling, 66 slide tackling. We did throw an anchor chem style, so some of these stats are boosted quite a bit. And his physical stats are solid. He has 80 strength, 89 aggression, At 6'1", I expect that to be very, very nice. His 84 stamina does leave quite a bit to be desired. So, without further ado, we're going to jump into the first 9 games of the Weekend League. I'm going to let you guys know how I'm doing in the Weekend League. And also, I'm going to let you guys know, is this Veron card worth it? Let's go. All right, guys. So, this card's going to fluctuate between 400,000 to 440,000 coins on the PS4 market. Is he worth that money? I would have to say yes if you need an icon link, because there are better players on this game as far as what he brings to the table that are non-icons. I mean, I would argue that the 87 Allen or the not-informed Pogba could do a similar job to this Veron card as far as impact goes. However, they don't have the icon links. As far as icon midfielders go, I believe he's one of the best at this price range. I'm gonna break down the stats so you guys know exactly what to expect at home. So, 74 pace, how does it feel? All right. In game, in my opinion, he actually feels quicker than the 74 pace, which is not something I expected because his agility is lowish. He is 6'1", so he's not the agile kind of player that would feel faster than his pace suggests. But whatever the case is, he feels more like 77 to 78 pace. He does feel quick. He does feel quick as far as tracking up and down the pitch. He does surprisingly have a decent amount of acceleration coming out of the skill moves. Overall, I gotta give his pace a 7.5 out of 10. It was solid, and I don't really see it being an issue for the next few months. Next, we're going to talk about shooting, all right? If you want an attacking center defensive mid, if you want to play this guy at the center mid position, is his shooting good enough? I would say yes, all right? The first thing we're going to talk about is his attack positioning. 84 attack positioning is definitely noticeable on this card. He makes very good runs if you do send him forward. He is always in the right position as far as build-up play goes. I really enjoyed his attack positioning. His finishing at 74 is decent, all right? Don't get me wrong, it's not elite in any sense of the word. But because he has 93 shot power, if you place that shot well, if you get a good angle on the shot, 9 times out of 10, it's going to hit the back of the net. He has a very similar shot to Paul Pogba, where if you get a good angle on it, because of the shot power, it's hitting the back of the net. His 91 long shots are definitely noticeable in game as well. That in conjunction with his shot power really help him out. However, long shots are not very meta on this game in my opinion. So I don't really think it's a big pro to have somebody with such really good long shot stats. His 91 penalties, we're not going to talk about it. He's a center defensive mid, center mid type player. Overall, his shooting is going to be an 8 out of 10. Very solid. And if you want an attacking center defensive mid that can finish his breakfast, this guy might be the guy for you. Next, we're going to talk about his passing, all right? Because this is what a lot of you guys might be bringing him in your team to do. You might want a playmaking center defensive mid. You might want a center mid that can pass because you like to play possession. And he's very well suited to that, all right? 88 vision, 90 short passing, 89 long passing, all combined to make a very reliable passer of the ball. He's very similar in game as far as passing goes to Pirlo. And in my opinion, Pirlo is one of the best passers as far as midfielders go on this game. He can execute any kind of pass. He can execute those driven passes. He can execute through balls over the top. He can execute those passes where you need to really have finesse around the box because it's a crowded box. He's very good to have, especially if you're pairing him with somebody clunkier, especially if you're pairing him with a more traditional center defensive mid. So overall, I gotta give his passing a 9 out of 10. It's probably his standout stat. Next, we're going to talk about his dribbling, all right? Because, like I said, there are some great stats here, and there are some questionable stats, and we're going to cut straight to the chase. Does the 70 agility, 72 balance kill the card? And I would say no, all right? Honestly, this guy felt very smooth on the ball, especially when you consider that he is a center defensive mid, center mid option. He feels very similar to Pogba in game as far as the way he moves, the way he just glides on the ball effortlessly. All right, do not get me wrong, he's not quite as good as Pogba on the ball, but he's very close. All right, I don't think his 70 agility is an issue. I didn't even use the engine chem style on him, so I suspect if you throw an engine on him, if you throw a sniper, if you throw a gladiator chem style on him, he'll feel a lot better on the ball. His ball control is very evident in game. He does operate well in tight spaces, which is very unique for somebody of his stature, and I really enjoy that. His 88 composure really helps him in all aspects of the game. And who I can really liken him to as far as how he feels on the ball is De Jong, all right? You know how De Jong is very good on the ball. He's very good at retaining possession. He's very good at recycling possession. This Veron is going to be bringing a lot of the same qualities to your side. Overall, I got to give his dribbling an 8.5 out of 10. I was surprised how good he felt on the ball. Next, we are going to cover his defending, because if you do want to play him at CDM, he's gonna need to have a good contribution defensively. And the first thing that stands out about him is his stand tackle. I know it only says 75, which was boosted up to 83 with the anchor chem style. But in game, he felt very reliable going into a challenge. He felt very powerful going into a challenge. I think it's a combination of a few things, all right? He's 6'1". He has the long legs, so he's going to be able to reach tackles you wouldn't really expect him to. On top of that, he has the 89 aggression. He has a stocky body type. So even though his stand tackle is only 75 in game, he feels a lot better than that going into a challenge. He's very much like Pogba in that regard. His 83 interceptions was also very noticeable. He was very, very good at breaking up play, once again, with his long legs. And his defensive awareness of 76 was decent. All right, he's not as good as somebody like Conte or Allen as far as defensive positioning goes, but he does hold his own in that regard. Overall, I gotta give his defending an 8 out of 10. It surprised me just how good he was defensively, and comparing him to Pirlo, I mean, it's a no-brainer. He's actually feeling like a CDM going into a challenge, whereas Pirlo felt more like a CM Cam going into a challenge. Finally, we will be talking about his physical, and I already did cover some of his physical just a couple seconds ago when I talked about his aggression, because his aggression is definitely very noticeable. And it's not only noticeable defensively, but it's also noticeable offensively. When he's near the ball, if you want to shield with him, if you want to go for a second chance, this guy really, really is very good as far as getting those 50-50 balls. His 80 strength feels like a lie. He does feel stronger in game, in my opinion. The one con I would say about this card is not the jumping, because I think in the air he's fine because he's 6'1". 66 jumping isn't the worst thing in the world for somebody of that height. The fact that he has 84 stamina is the only thing that really lets him down, in my opinion, all right? Because 84 stamina is good enough to last 90 minutes, even if you decide to press. However, if you go into extra time, which you do tend to do in weekend league, you will need a sub, unless you want him to be playing on very low stamina, which is not the most ideal situation. So his 84 stamina, in my opinion, is the one con of the card. I do gotta give him negative marks for that. Overall, I give his physical an 8 out of 10. It's pretty solid with the exception of his stamina. Alright guys, so what is the final verdict on this card? Is it a buy or not? I would say if you need an icon midfielder, center defensive mid, I think he's a very good option. I think he's one of the best midfielders I felt on this game in that price range, period. If you are on a budget, I would suggest getting somebody like 87 Allen, somebody like a Pogba, somebody like that if you are tight on coins and you can't fit them onto your team. If you absolutely need an icon midfielder, I think look no further. This guy is a very underrated icon. I never see him on the game, and he just provides a lot to your side. He provides the physicality, he provides the passing, the playmaking, the dribbling, and he does have a very decent shot on him. I think his best position is a CDM in a 2 CDM formation. However, I can't see him playing the CM a CM in a 3 midfielder formation as well, if that's what you want from him. So he's a very versatile card, and he is a very good card overall. I gotta give him a 9 out of 10. Like I said, he's very, very good at a lot of things on this game, with the one con being his stamina. Now we're gonna talk about how I did in the weekend league, and right now I'm sitting at 6-3. And why I'm disappointed about that is not because of the record itself, but if you look, I'm going to show you guys the goal, because Veron actually scored the goal. So you will be seeing this highlight, all right? So game number 6, all right? This is my game to go 5-1. I'm currently 4-1. It's the 90th minute. I got Neymar running down the wing. I cut it back. I got Veron. Veron takes a quick turn. He shoots. He scores. And next thing you know, the game is lagging when I'm watching the replay. And it freezes, and I got a disconnect. So I end up going from 4-1 to 4-2, and I finished at 6-3. And at this point, I don't even get mad at the disconnects anymore. We've been there, we've done that, and it's just unfortunately a part of the game at this point. I've gotten, I think, 4 disconnects this year. This was one of them. So really, I should be sitting at 7-2. That was actually the game winner in extra time, and that's when I got disconnected. I'm not sure if the opponent did something to disconnect me. I don't want to think like that, but the timing was so questionable. I mean, like I said, you're gonna see the clip on your screen, but we're gonna move onward and upward, hopefully push for gold 1. And yeah, that's gonna be my episode. Hopefully you guys at home enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section down below, have you ever tried this Veron card? What are your experiences? Let me know in the comment section down below how you're doing this weekend league. Once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, later.